Hi there. As you can see, Tilray is down 20% in just one day. Do you know why? Well, if you look at the stock price, you can see that it went up quite a lot, over 70% in just a few days. But because Tilray reported the results for the third quarter, net revenue has increased by 40%, the stock price has declined by 27%. By the way, not also the revenue has increased by 40%, but also their losses have improved. Let me show you. You see, for the last 3 months, 2024 in the left side and 2023 in the right side, you see that their net loss has decreased from 1.1 billion to 100 million. So this is an amazing performance. This company may become profitable as the revenue has increased by 40% and their losses has decreased by more than 80%. But still the stock price has declined by 20%, by more than 20% in just one day. If you can believe that. And the question is, do you know why that happened? Well, let me show you. First, let's look at the good side. As I said, the revenue in the third quarter has increased by almost 40%, from 145 million to over 188 million. An amazing performance. And as you probably know, this company has more segments. Beverage, where the revenue has increased by 165%. Cannabis, where they have a lot of opportunities, as the market size for cannabis is expected to grow to more than 444 billion by 2030. So compound annual growth rate over 40%. This is the biggest opportunity for Tilray. And as you can see, the net revenue has increased by 43% in the last quarter, the fourth quarter. They also said that their gross profit have increased and also their margins. In the third quarter, they had a gross margin of 43% compared to a loss in the prior year. So this is a huge improvement. You can also see the other segments, distribution and wellness, where the revenue has increased a little, for wellness by 12%, and for distribution, you see a small decline from 65 million to 56 million. But overall, the revenue has increased by 40%, as they said in their title. And as I said at the beginning, the net losses has decreased to 105 million from 1.2 billion in the prior year quarter. So this is an amazing performance for Tilray. But as you can see, the stock price was down 20% in just one day. And now the market cap is about 1.5 billion. Why is that? Well, they have some debt on their balance sheet, which is about, if you do the math, 400 million. But they still have some cash, which is more than 200 million. So overall, even though they have some losses, which have improved in the last quarter, as you can see, from 1 billion to 100 million, this company is doing great. The revenue is growing a lot, by almost 40%, as you can see here. They reduce their losses and they have huge opportunities, not only from the cannabis market, as I said, which is expected to grow by 44% a year, but they also have other segments, as you've seen, beverage, distribution, and wellness. And if you look at each segment, of course, if you read this entire report, if you have the time, you can see that they report the revenue by segment. And you can see here, the revenue for beverage have increased a lot, quite a lot, in the last 3 months, from 20 million to more than 54 million. Cannabis from 47 million to over 63 million. This is amazing. Only for distribution, in the last 3 months, the revenue has decreased a little, from 65 to 56 million. And for wellness, has increased from 12 million to 14 million for the last 3 months. But if you look overall, for the last 9 months, you can see that the revenue has increased quite a lot for each segment. Just look in this side, in the right side, and compare it to the left side. So overall, the revenue has increased quite a lot. And also they reduced their losses. But to answer my first question, why the stock price has dropped by more than 20%, the answer is that their guidance. This is the first reason why the stock price has declined by more than 20%. As you can see, the company is now guiding an adjusted EBITDA between 60 and 63 million. Keep in mind this number. And they no longer expect to generate positive adjusted free cash flow for the full fiscal year 2024 due to a delayed timing. Now, if you look to the previous quarter, you can see that their adjusted EBITDA was expected to be between 68 million to 78 million. So the first sign is that they reduced their adjusted EBITDA from 68 million to 60 million, and that's why the stock price has reacted. But this is just a small piece. As you can see, in the previous quarter, the second quarter of 2024, the company expected to generate positive adjusted free cash flow. So this is the main reason why the stock price has declined. Because in the last quarter, the third quarter, they no longer expect to generate positive adjusted free cash flow for the full fiscal year 2024. And that's why you see this decline of 20%. So go on their website, check the latest report for Q3 2024 and compare it to Q2 2024. You can see here, second quarter 2024. And you can easily see that their guidance has been lowered. And that's why, because of this free cash flow, they no longer expect to generate positive adjusted free cash flow. That's why the stock price has declined by 20%. Also, the stock price went up quite a lot in recent days because of good news from international expansion, especially in Germany. But as you can see, the stock price went down because this company, Tilray, won't expect to generate positive free cash flow for this year, 2024. Now, as the revenue has increased by more than 40% and their losses have decreased, is this company a good buy at the current market cap of 1.5 billion? Well, as I said in my previous videos, you have the reward and also the risk. That's why you have to focus on the reward, what's the upside, and as you've seen, the market size for cannabis is expected to grow by 34% a year by 2020-30. So this is an amazing performance if they can achieve that. And as you've seen, the results are quite great. The revenue has increased and their losses have decreased. So overall, their performance was great. But be aware that at the end, what really matters is their profits. If this company can become profitable. So for the last 9 months, you can see that their losses were about 207 million. A decrease from 1.3 billion last year. So this is a great performance. If they can turn this number into positive to report 200 million in earnings, then Tilray is quite a bargain at the current level. And you can take advantage. But as I said, if this company doesn't become profitable and they continue to report more losses in the future, maybe about the same, 200 million or 400 million, then don't expect a huge increase in the stock price. It may be flat. Moreover, you also have to be aware of dilution. As you can see, the number of shares has increased. in the last 2 years, almost 3 years, the number of shares has increased from 200 million to more than 700 million. And this is quite a lot. Huge dilution. So if they keep issuing more shares, then the value of this business, especially for current shareholders, will go down in the long term. That's why you have to be very careful with this company. They might become profitable next year. They might report a profit as the revenue keeps growing. But if they don't do that, you know the answer. This company will continue to issue more shares to fund their operations as they have no earnings, plus to reduce their debt. Because as you probably know, this company has about 400 million in debt and they have to pay it. So it's up to you if you want to take that risk. The upside may be high from the current level. The market cap can go to 4 billion as they have huge opportunities. If you read the report, you can also see that Tilray is focused on growing its leading market share in medical cannabis across Europe and other international markets. And as you can see, during the third quarter, the international cannabis net revenue increased by 44%. This is amazing. So they have opportunities in other countries, Europe especially, and other markets. Plus in the US, if cannabis becomes legal. That will be another huge opportunity for Tilray. If that happens, then the stock price can easily double from the current level, quite even more. As it happened with Germany. When they announced that news, the stock price went up more than 70%. So if cannabis becomes legal in the US, then the stock price will more than double. There can be another catalyst for this business. That may happen or not. That's why. It's up to you. If you like the risk, as I said, massive dilution, you can see here, and no profits. This company may not become profitable. That's why you have to be aware of this risk. And they also said in their guidance that for 2024, they no longer expect positive adjusted free cash flow. So for this year, you can't expect profits from this company, Tilray. And that's why the stock price has declined by 20%. Maybe next year or after 2 years or in the next 5 years, this company will become profitable and you can more than double your money. That may also happen. That's why you have to put in balance the risk and the reward and then see if you can take advantage or not. So that's it for this video. And if you have other questions about this company or other companies, then let me know in the comments.